head coach Jimmy here, and Caleb's got the mic once again. Go right ahead, Caleb.
Kale just told us that she thought this was the team's most complete game of the season so far. Would you agree with that?
Most complete first half, definitely. I think first half was a lot of the elements that we've been working on very, very hard. And I think especially the press, the way we show up, I think some stats like they had some possession, but all of their possession was on their own half. We were having possession, but we were having possession on the opponent's half. And I think those were like small things that we've really been focusing on. I think you also can see it and feel it in the way that we just move forward, we press forward, we step quite aggressive. And I think that just results in a very good first half. So I think it was definitely the most complete first half that we've played so far.
Then going into the second half, then what are some things that you'd like to see improve?
Yeah, I just think we're just talking about it with the staff as well. It almost feels uncomfortable being in the lead. So I think normally we come out in second halves and we're like, okay. Lately it's been 0-0, so you go like, okay, now can we push to win the game? And now you go into halftime 2-0, and you're kind of just showing them what they've been doing well. And it's like, can we keep track of what we've been doing well, and can we exploit that more? It was actually crazy because I think Houston Dash went to a double pivot in the second half in comparison to a single pivot in the first half. So actually we had more space to find a Tejada, to find a Claudia between the lines. I think slightly struggling more with like that part of recognition and just finding those passes. But yeah, I just think at the end of the day, I think Bianca came in with a clear vision of what she wanted to do. She wanted to contribute to a win at home, a shutout. So I think that's huge to us. And I think those are the things that we have to take into account when we look at players, when we look at practice, when we look at selections, whatever it is. I think we need that mentality, whatever it takes. And I think before the game we said as well, it's contributions over credit. I think that's huge to us. It's just making sure that we're contributing to the bigger picture and making sure that everyone is taking credits at the end of the season. But right now it's just contributing, and we'll see where we end.
You kind of just nullified my question with that, but I'll still ask it anyway. Congratulations on the win in the shutout.
Thank you.
We just talked to Kale about the vibe, how from warm-up to through the goals, how there was just it felt like a good vibe with this team, that they're firing and they're feeling good about life. How do you personally feel as a coach at this point in the season? You just said you're going to have to wait till the end, but how are you feeling if you're willing to share?
I just had the conversation with our front office as well, where I'm just kind of mad at myself for the first half of the season. Obviously, there was a lot of context, there was a lot of circumstances, but could we have done better in the first half of the season? Probably, definitely, without a doubt. So I think that's just the hardest part right now is like, how do we use this momentum? How do we keep this momentum going? How do we create belief into the end of the season, but also moving forward, that we make sure that we take this into whatever's coming next season. I think that's the biggest part. So I'm definitely feeling happy about what we're doing right now, but I'm also very critical. Like I have a lot of criticism towards myself. I look at myself very often when we're making decisions, when we're playing, when we're training. And I think looking at that, I think happy about today, but still trying to figure out what happened in that first half of the season.
I'll ask you the same question that I asked Kale as well. So you haven't lost in 5, 3 shutouts in the same. How are you feeling about the team's overall defensive work? Because it's not just the back line, even though they're huge, and it's not just Mandy. We're seeing a lot of players come back and help, and they're working it up the upper half of the pitch as well. How are you feeling about this team's overall defensive effort?
Yeah, I think we're racking up a lot of high speed, and I think it's in both sides of the game. It's both defensively as offensively. I think what makes it easier for us right now is that we're putting so much pressure on the balls. We're really minimizing time on the ball, and it becomes kind of predictable what's going to happen. I think the number of times we're able to put pressure on Jane Campbell today, and she had to or boot it out, or like her body positioning was kind of giving away what was about to happen. And those situations just something that we recreate at practice so often. I think, for example, this week we're working very heavily on again, like that final third entry, finding the right passes. Do we have to go in between the lines? Do we have to go beyond the lines? When you succeed, you have a shot on goal. When you don't succeed, you have a defensive recovery. And I'm just happy to see in those moments my players also pressing forward, even at practice, because it's just replicating what's going to happen in the game. If I give that ball and I'm not succeeding in what I do, like I need someone to put pressure on the ball. And I think Aisha has been amazing. I think we saw Chloe Lacazo was disappointed to be sub, but she just dropped in terms of intensity. So it's also a sign from our side to just make sure, like, look, we need this intensity. That's what we do. And I think that was kind of different in the second half. So I think that's why, again, I'm happy with the performance of subs as well, coming on and really putting in the effort, pushing forward. I think Bianca has kind of a very hard job the last 3 to 4 weeks, coming in, getting 20 minutes, and basically all you got to do is just run, make sure you run. I think that's kind of hard for her, but she's taken it in a very good way. So I think, again, like, just happy with what we've been doing overall.
And just one more for me, and I know you're not in charge of visas, but has Lara been able to integrate, and to what level has she been able to mesh with the team?
Yeah, I think unfortunately it's going to take 2, 3, 4 weeks maybe for Lara to be involved in what we do right now. Just heard a few things coming back from a league perspective as well that, like, I don't think everyone did within a process of getting a visa. I don't think everything went so smooth. We did our job, so I think that's clear. So I think it's just kind of unfortunately that is in this vibe, in this stretch of games, that you cannot add something positive to it, and you can add someone that might up the level, might up some quality. So I think that's just the very unfortunate element of the situation right now, but I think she's dealing well with it. We're connected. We're making sure she's ready for whenever she will be ready. Thank you.
I feel like we need to ask about the captain a little bit after today's game, because it's not just Paige scoring goals again, but the types of goals she's scoring is really impressive. She's inside the box, she's outside the box, she's multiple positions on the field, good connection with her teammates, direct play, whatever, playing it on the ground. Just what is it about her game where she's kind of she's always put herself in good positions, and now she's kind of finishing those chances, I guess. Yeah,
I think one of the biggest downfalls of our first half of the season was getting numbers up front, getting numbers in and around the box. And I think if you just look at the goal that Paige made today, and it's all credit to Paige, but you had Yanni on her right. So you all of a sudden have that left fullback that needs to make a decision. Am I going for Yanni? Am I going for Paige? And whenever you have someone wide, from a theoretical point of view, it should be the fullback and it should be the centre back stepping. But just because it happens in half a second, it just allows us to get time on the ball for a Paige. And like I said, a Paige with a lot of confidence is what you get right now. And I think it's just the whole picture of that goal making me very happy. We go to Nuria. She plays that perfect diagonal ball because we're playing against a single pivot. So it's that point of recognition. It's finding the players. Yanni making that run. It's a sacrifice run. She's creating space for the one on the ball. And then obviously it's an amazing finish. But it's just like the whole picture is the pieces are coming together, which we're very happy about. It's just keeping this momentum going now.
I want to piggyback off something that Sean actually asked Kel before you stepped in here. Is there a better hype woman than Poe?
But, I mean, Poe is one of the players where whatever happens in the weekend, whatever happens in the morning, she walks in and she's consistent in what she does. And that's both on and off the pitch. I think off the pitch she's showing the willingness to improve. She's picking up a lot of things. I think if you go into a film session, it will be Poe answering the questions. And right now, obviously, you have a Nuria Urbano who's playing, in my opinion, she was one of the better players today. And I think it's just hard for Poe, but it's also that point of recognition when she goes like, okay, I'm second now. It's clear that I'm second. What's my new role? What can I contribute to the team? And we had that conversation with her as well. And she was like, okay, clear, if that's what you want me to do, I'll get on top of it. And that will be for the team. And I think that's just amazing. I think Poe has been hyping everyone up, and you can also see it. I think we're close to scoring. I think she was past me. She was almost on the pitch already. So I think those moments, just things that I take a lot of joy in, and then just to see them being able to translate that vibe that we have at practice, that we have since we came back in July, just getting it into games. Because I think at the end of the day, our first half was also not only joyful to watch, but I also feel like they had joy on the pitch, and they were happy. So I think that's just really important.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Paige in here next.